going to start metal cutting. Let's define metal cutting. Metal cutting is defined as the process of removing unwanted material from a workpiece in the form of chip with the help of a single point cutting tool. So, in a metal cutting process, we remove material from a workpiece in the form of chip with the help of a cutting tool. That's a simple definition of a metal cutting. But the question is, why we need to analyze metal cutting? हमें metal cutting analysis करने की क्या जरूरत है? To answer this, we have to understand certain points. If you are analyzing metal cutting, then you will be able to calculate the following factors. Firstly, if you are doing metal cutting analysis, you will be able to calculate what is the cutting force involved during metal cutting. Now the question is, what is the advantage of calculating the cutting force? अगर आपने cutting force calculate किया तो आपको क्या पता चलेगा? By calculating the cutting force, one will able to understand what is the rigidity of the setup required. Cutting force calculation से हमें यह पता चलता है कि उस सेटअप का जो आप मशीन यूज कर रहे हैं उसकी क्या रिजिडिटी, क्या स्ट्रेंथ होनी चाहिए. By calculating the cutting force, one knows about the rigidity of the setup required. That's the first thing. Second, if you are calculating cutting force, after that you can calculate power. Because power is nothing but cutting force into cutting velocity. I'll be dealing it again in upcoming session, but for the time being you just understand power is nothing but cutting force into cutting velocity. If the cutting velocity is constant, the power is proportional to what? Power is proportional to cutting force. And as you know cutting force, you can also understand or you can also calculate power. If you are calculating power, then you will be in a position to tell what is the requirement of prime mover. पावर कैलकुलेट करने से आपने जो मशीन यूज किया है उसका जो मोटर होगा उसकी क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है आप ये बता सकते हैं. तो बाय कैलकुलेटिंग पावर वन कैन कैलकुलेट और एस्टिमेट द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ अ प्राइम मूवर. नेक्स्ट, यू कैन कैलकुलेट टूल लाइफ. आप टूल लाइफ निकाल सकते हैं. नाउ व्हाट इज टूल लाइफ, पहले ये समझते हैं. टूल लाइफ इज डिफाइंड एज the number of workpiece or the number of job that a single cutting tool produce before failure. एक कटिंग टूल कितना वर्कपीस प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है अपने फेलियर से पहले इज डिफाइंड एज टूल लाइफ. टूल लाइफ एनालिसिस से हमें क्या पता चलता है? इफ यू आर एनालाइजिंग टूल लाइफ, देन यू कैन एडजस्ट द प्रोसेस पैरामीटर एंड द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ कटिंग फ्लूइड. जो प्रोसेस पैरामीटर है मतलब जो उस कटिंग करने के लिए जो आपको फीड देना है, डेप्थ ऑफ कट देना है, वेलोसिटी डिसाइड करनी है, ये सारे आप जो प्रोसेस पैरामीटर हैं वो इजीली डिसाइड कर सकते हैं. और साथ ही साथ उस कटिंग प्रोसेस में कटिंग फ्लूइड की रिक्वायरमेंट भी आप एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं. What is the advantage of it? यदि आपने ये सब किया, then you will be in a position to reduce the tool setting time. And for any effective production, the production rate should be always higher than the tool setting time, or the tool life should always be greater than the tool setting time. Tool setting time क्या होता है कि आप एक टूल को उसके टूल पोस्ट पे सेट करते हैं और ये जो ड्यूरेशन और ये जो समय लगता है आपको उसे सेट करने के लिए, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज टूल सेटिंग टाइम. और यदि आपका टूल जल्दी जल्दी फेल होता रहेगा तो क्या होगा, आपको बार बार टूल सेट करना पड़ेगा जिससे आपका प्रोडक्शन रेट क्या हो जाएगा, डिक्रीज हो जाएगा. तो हमने देखा कि इफ आई एम एनालाइजिंग कटिंग फोर्स, देन इफ आई एम एनालाइजिंग मेटल कटिंग, तो मैं सबसे पहले कटिंग फोर्स निकाल सकता हूं. और यदि मैंने कटिंग फोर्स निकाल लिया, देन आई विल बी इन अ पोजीशन टू टेल व्हाट इज द रिजिडिटी ऑफ सेटअप रिक्वायर्ड. दूसरी बात क्या है, मैं पावर कैलकुलेट कर सकता हूं. पावर कैलकुलेट करने से मुझे ये पता चल जाएगा कि वो जो प्राइम मूवर है उसकी क्या रिक्वायरमेंट बनेगी. तीसरा, मैं टूल लाइफ कैलकुलेट कर सकता हूं. यदि मैंने टूल लाइफ कैलकुलेट किया तो मैं ये जान जाऊंगा कि what should be the process parameter and the cutting fluid for that cutting operation. ये सारी चीज मुझे पता चल जाएगी. चौथा जो चीज है, वी कैन कैलकुलेट द फोर्थ पॉइंट, दैट इज वी कैन कैलकुलेट द टेम्परेचर इंड्यूस्ड ड्यूरिंग द मेटल कटिंग. उस मेटल कटिंग के प्रोसेस पे क्या टेम्परेचर प्रोड्यूस है, हम ये कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. एंड व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ डूइंग दैट? If you know the temperature that is induced during the metal cutting, you can select a proper cutting tool material. आपका जो cutting tool का material होगा वो आप select कर सकते हैं. And it is always suggested the hot hardness temperature of the cutting tool material should be greater than the temperature induced in the metal cutting. Now we have to understand another term which is called as hot hardness temperature. Hot hardness temperature. What is this hot hardness temperature? It is defined as the minimum temperature above which a metal loses its hardenability. ये वो टेम्परेचर है जिसके बाद एक मटेरियल अपनी हार्डनेस की प्रॉपर्टी को लूज कर देता है. That is called as hot hardness temperature. For example, for high carbon steel at room temperature, that is at 30 degrees Celsius, it is having a Rockwell hardness number of 65. And at 100 degrees Celsius, it reduces to your 64. And if you are talking of 300 degrees Celsius, it will be having a Rockwell hardness number of 61. What you can conclude? You can conclude as you are increasing the temperature, the hardness will decrease. If you are increasing temperature, the hardness of the material will decrease. I'm going to give the data of certain hot hardness temperature of certain material. For example, the HSS tool, high speed tool, it is having 600 degree Celsius. You have to remember this data. Then carbide tool have a hot hardness temperature of 1000 degree Celsius. Ceramic tool, this have a temperature of 1200 degree Celsius. CBN, centered boron nitrate, this is having a temperature of 2000 degree Celsius. This you need to understand. So what we have read, we have understood, if I am analyzing metal cutting, I will be calculating cutting force. If I am calculating cutting force, I will know what is the rigidity of setup required. Second, if I am calculating power, I will understand what is the requirement of prime mover. Third, if I am calculating tool life, I can set the process parameter and the requirement of cutting fluid in such a way that the tool setting time get reduced. Next, temperature. We can calculate temperature. If we are calculating temperature, then we can select the proper cutting tool material for our tool. Understood? Now, let's try to move further and understand next topic of this particular thing. Now, we understood we require a cutting tool in order to do machining और मेटल कटिंग करने के लिए हमें कटिंग टूल की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. तो हम ये समझते हैं व्हाट आर द वेरियस टाइप ऑफ कटिंग टूल की क्या टाइप्स होते हैं, हम ये समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. वी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर द टाइप ऑफ कटिंग टूल. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज टाइप ऑफ कटिंग टूल. कटिंग टूल के क्या टाइप होते हैं? बेसिकली इट इज डिफाइंड इन और बेसिकली इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू टू ब्रांचेस. फर्स्ट इज सिंगल पॉइंट cutting tool, second is multi-point cutting tool. Single point cutting tool and multi-point cutting tool. What is single point cutting tool? What is multi-point? That's the question. Single point cutting tool क्या होता है और multi-point cutting tool क्या होता है, हमें ये समझना है. Single point cutting tool is the one in which you are having only single cutting edge. जिसमें एक सिंगल कटिंग एज होगा मेटल रिमूवल के लिए, दैट kind of cutting tool are called as single point cutting tool. For example, if you am talking of this thermocol cutter, you can see in this cutter there is only one sharpening edge, and this edge will be used for removal of material. Hence, this is a single cutting tool, example of a single edge cutting tool. So what is a single edge cutting tool? If you are having only one single edge for metal removal, then such kind of tool are called as single point cutting tool. Such kind of tool are called as what? Single point cutting tool. So we have to remember the example here, because the examples, they will be giving you question in this way: which of the following are the example of what? Single point cutting tool. 4 option will be given to you, you have to select it, or combination type question as they ask in engineering service examination. They will be forming question like that. So we need to understand the example of it. The most common example of this is turning tool. What is a turning tool? Turning process में जो tool अपन use करते हैं लेथ में, that is an example of single point cutting tool. Then your shaping tool जो shaper में use होता है, shaping tool, planing tool, then parting tool, then parting tool. Turning, shaping, planing, parting, this all are what? Example of single point cutting tool. Now can you just tell me one thing? If I'm having a hacksaw, this is my hacksaw, right? Now tell me, this is an example of single point cutting tool or multi point cutting tool? That will be a single point cutting tool. Why? Although you can see here tips are there, but this is the only single edge which is involved in cutting. Hence, this is an example of single point cutting tool. This is also example of single point cutting tool. Understood this? Now, next is multi-point cutting tool. What is a multi-point cutting tool? Multi-point cutting tool, if you are having more than one cutting edge for metal removal process. If you are having more than one cutting edge for metal removal process, such kind of tools are called as multi-point cutting tool. For example, यदि मैं एक व्हील लूं और इस व्हील में बहुत सारे सिंगल पॉइंट कटिंग टूल को माउंट कर दूं. Now this tool is not a single point cutting tool, although it comprises of so many single point cutting tool, but this is a multi-point cutting tool as more than one cutting edge is available for metal removal process. So you understood the definition of multi-point cutting tool. Multi-point cutting tool is the one which is having more than one cutting edge for metal removal process. The example of it is milling cutter, drilling cutter. ड्रिलिंग प्रोसेस में जो कटर यूज करते हैं, मिलिंग कटर, ड्रिलिंग कटर या ड्रिल बिट. उसके बाद आप ब्रोचिंग टूल, टर्निंग ब्रोचिंग टूल. दिस आर व्हाट एग्जांपल ऑफ योर मल्टी पॉइंट कटिंग टूल. मिलिंग कटर, ड्रिलिंग कटर, ब्रोचिंग कटर, राइट, हॉबिंग टूल. दिस ऑल आर एग्जांपल ऑफ व्हाट? दिस ऑल आर एग्जांपल ऑफ मल्टी पॉइंट कटिंग. सो वी हैव अंडरस्टूड द टाइप ऑफ कटिंग टूल्स. दो प्रकार के कटिंग टूल्स होते हैं. एक होता है सिंगल पॉइंट कटिंग टूल. सिंगल पॉइंट कटिंग टूल किसे कहते हैं? इफ यू आर हैविंग ओनली अ सिंगल कटिंग एज फॉर मेटल रिमूवल. एग्जांपल ऑफ इट क्या क्या है? टर्निंग टूल, प्लेनिंग टूल, शेपिंग टूल, हैक्सॉ, योर थर्मोकॉल कटर. दिस ऑल आर एग्जांपल ऑफ सिंगल कटिंग टूल. मल्टी पॉइंट कटिंग टूल क्या है? मिलिंग कटर, ड्रिलिंग कटर, बोरिंग कटर, ब्रोचिंग कटर. दिस ऑल आर एग्जांपल ऑफ व्हाट? योर मल्टी पॉइंट कटिंग टूल. आपको ये बात समझ? Now, let's try to understand another important aspect. Firstly, हमने देखा कि कटिंग टूल कितने टाइप के होते हैं. अब देखते हैं कि एक सिंगल पॉइंट कटिंग टूल का क्या ज्योमेट्री होता है. तो हम लोग देखेंगे नेक्स्ट टॉपिक हमें क्या देखना है? टूल ज्योमेट्री. हमें क्या पढ़ना है? टूल ज्योमेट्री. इसके लिए मैं आपको एक पॉइंट कटिंग टूल आपके सामने है. सबसे पहले मैं क्या करूंगा, इस सिंगल पॉइंट कटिंग टूल को आपको समझाऊंगा पूरी तरह से. एंड वंस यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस सिंगल पॉइंट कटिंग टूल, देन वी विल डिफाइन इट ग्रेजुअली. पहले हम इसे पूरी अच्छे तरह से ऑब्जर्व कर लेते हैं. देखिए, जिस पोर्शन से मैंने इस टूल को पकड़ रखा है, द पोर्शन आई एम होल्डिंग, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ शैंक. SHANK, शैंक या होल्डर. इसे क्या कहते हैं? शैंक या होल्डर. shank. Shank क्या होता है? Shank is the portion of the tool which is kept on the tool post. ये tool post, इसी को tool post पे रखते हैं, इसीलिए इसे shank भी कहा जाता है या holder भी कहा जाता है. This is the main body of the tool. This is the body of the tool. समझ आ गया shank क्या है? अब ये देखिए यहां पर ये जो है आगे का, ये जो है this portion, ये वाला surface, ये जो आप देख रहे हैं ये surface, this surface is called as rack surface. इस surface को हम क्या बोलते हैं? rack surface. इस surface को क्या कहते हैं? rack surface. क्यों रैक सरफेस कहते हैं हम कुछ देर में समझ आएंगे. इसे क्या कहेंगे? रैक सरफेस. और ये जो है दिस इज कॉल्ड एज एंड रिलीफ सरफेस. दिस आर कॉल्ड एज दिस एंड दिस आर कॉल्ड एज साइड रिलीफ सरफेस. एंड रिलीफ, साइड रिलीफ, रैक सरफेस. बात समझ आ गया? इसे क्या कहते हैं? हम इसे कहते हैं शैंक या होल्डर. ये हमारा सरफेस क्या हुआ? दिस सरफेस इज आर रैक सरफेस. ये सरफेस क्या हुआ? हमारा रिलीफ सरफेस. This surface is end relief surface and this is your side relief surface. Can you see this? I'm just giving you the different views. This is a front view of the tool. This is a side view of the tool. You are looking from the side. If I'm looking from my side, it will be like this, and this will be the front view of it. And if you are looking from the top, this will be the top view of the tool. Right? ये तीन व्यू होंगे, side view, front view, and this is the top view of it. Top view of it, I'll show you now. Now you understood the basic difference here. This is called as shank. This is called as rack surface. This is called as end relief. This is called as this is a side relief. Now let's try to understand how this cutter will be used. Now this is a job I have. If in this job what I'll do, I'll insert this cutting tool. And when I'm applying the force, and if my applied force is greater than the shear strength, ultimate shear strength of this material, my chip will start forming. And further increase, the chip will be flowing in a surface. You are seeing this is a surface in which the chip is flowing, and the surface in which chip is flowing, that is called as rack surface. तो rack surface क्या होता है? वो surface होता है जिसमें chip flow करता है. My dear, look at this. Can you see our angle? If I am turning like this, you can see our angle very well. If you are providing this angle, why you are providing this angle? This was, you remember, this is called as relief surface. And why you are providing this relief angle or relief surface? This relief surface is provided so that this tool do not rub with the finished workpiece. This is a finished portion of it. If you start rubbing it, what will be the problem? It will cause damage, or it will affect the surface finish of the workpiece. So we understood what is a rack surface. Rack surface is the one on which chip flow. You can see this is the rack surface, chip is flowing on it. This is the surface on which chip flows is called as rack surface. And the surface which is provided to avoid rubbing of tool with a workpiece, that is called as rack surface. Is it clear to you? Now let's try to understand two more things. In this you can see this cutting edge. This is a principal cutting edge and or primary cutting edge, and this is called as your auxiliary cutting edge. Why you are having the auxiliary cutting edge? Suppose if you are inserting the tool like this, okay, the chip is forming, the chip is moving on this particular rack surface, but you can see after this, if you are not having a edge over this, cutting edge is this, you can't shear the material from this side. ये जो इस तरफ इसके बाद का जो shear का portion है, that won't be possible without a auxiliary cutting edge. So we have two cutting edge. This is the end cutting edge or principal cutting edge, and this is the auxiliary cutting edge. Now, is all the terms clear to you? We have shank. What is shank? Shank is the main body of the tool with which you are placing it in a tool post. Now, what is a rack surface? Rack surface is a one in which the chip produce will flow. That is called as a rack surface. What is a relief surface? Relief surface is a one which is provided to avoid rubbing of cutting tool with workpiece. Right? So we have two relief surface. This is the end relief. This is the side relief. Then we have cutting edge. This is a main cutting edge and this is a auxiliary cutting edge. Is everything clear of this tool? Now let's try to see this tool in different, and let's try to specify the different angles of this particular cutting tool. Now you are seeing the front view of this particular cutting tool. Can you see? This is the front view of the cutting tool. You are seeing the front view of the cutting tool, sorry, side view of the cutting tool. This is a side view of the cutting tool. If I'm looking at this, what I'm getting, if I'll take a plane and I'll cut it by taking a section perpendicular like this, what I'll have, if I'm doing this, suppose I take a plane and I cut it like that, what I'll have, I'm having this tool, another tool for that. I'm cutting it like this. I'm cutting it like this. This is a plane with which I'm cutting perpendicular to the base. Now you can see like this. You will have this. And if you are having this help us in calculating certain angles. Now, if I place this is what? This is a perpendicular, or this is a line parallel to the base. This is parallel to the length. This is the length of the tool and this is the base. So this is the line which is parallel to what? Your base. And you can see clearly an angle between these two. This is the angle. What is that angle? That angle is called as back rack angle. Why back rack angle? Why rack angle? Because this is a rack surface. You remember? If I'll again join this tool, you can easily understand, yes, this was the rack surface, and if this is a rack surface, you have to give the name as what? Rack angle, rack angle, and this angle is called as back rack angle. So what is back rack angle? Back rack angle is the angle formed between the rack surface and the horizontal plane measured along the length. Why? You can see I'm measuring it along the length, right? So what is back rack angle? Back rack angle is the angle between the rack surface and the horizontal plane. The rack surface and the horizontal plane measured along the length direction. Hope that angle is clear. This is a back rack angle. And you can see one more angle here. If I am placing this perpendicular, you can see, can you see the angle? Yes, this angle. This angle between these two is called as what? This angle is called as, what is the name of this surface? You remember? If I'll join that, you can easily recall it. What is the name of this surface? This was your, yes, end relief surface. This is the end relief surface. Now, if I am using this angle, the name should be what? End relief angle. You understand what is our end relief angle? End relief angle is, you got the point, end relief angle. End relief angle क्या होता है? The angle between the relief surface and a line perpendicular to the base. Right? This angle is called as end relief. This angle was back rack angle. This is end relief angle. We got two different angles by the side view. What were that? Draw it for you. You had seen the figure which you have obtained. It was like this. Now, what was this angle? This angle was alpha B. I am calling alpha B. What is alpha B? That is the back rack angle. Back rack angle. What is back rack angle? That is the angle between what? The rack surface of the tool and a line, that is the angle between the rack surface of the tool and the horizontal plane measured along the length direction. This is a back rack angle we have seen. Now, what is this? This angle, this is called as end relief angle. This angle is called as end relief angle, right? This is the end relief angle. What both of this you are getting when you have taken a plane and you have cut it, what? You have bisected it like this by taking what? Perpendicular to the length. I should say this is length, so it is perpendicular to the length, right? And you got a section like this, which I have which I have just drawn here. This same, this figure which I have drawn. Got that? Now let's try to see the front of it. That will be front. If I am keeping the tool like this is the front of it. Now if you are having this, here also you will get two different angles. You can easily observe that one you are getting, if I'll take, in order to show that, let me take a plane perpendicular to this and parallel to the, this is the width, parallel to width. Now if I am taking it, now this is what you will get. After cutting, this will be what you are getting. Here you can see two different things. One is, if I keep our finger like this, can you see the angle between my finger and the this? There is an angle. This angle is called as your side rack angle. Again, this is a rack surface and name has to be given rack, and this is called as side rack angle. That's the angle. So how you will define it? Side rack angle is an angle between the rack surface of the tool and your horizontal plane measured along width, because this is in a width direction. Again, I am defining it. Side rack angle is what? That is the angle between the rack surface and horizontal plane measured along the width direction. You can see you are measuring it in the width direction. This is the width of it, and I am keeping my finger in the width direction. So measured in width direction. Now this was the side relief, and if I am keeping an angle like this, can you see the angle perpendicular? If I keep, it will be angle, this angle. This angle is called as side relief angle. So if you will see the front view of this, and if you have the section, it will look something like this. What was this angle? This was your side rack angle. Again, I am defining what is side rack angle. Side rack angle is the angle between the rack surface and plane, horizontal plane measured along the width direction, right? And this angle, particular angle, you are calling it as what? Theta S. Theta S is side relief. So we have seen firstly back rack angle, right? Then end relief angle in this figure. Then we have developed the section this. In this front view, we'll have our what? Side rack angle and side relief angle. And if you are going to see the top of it, I can't show you top, so I am using this particular section like this. If you will see the top of it, you will get a section like this, and this will be showing you two different things, right? If you can remember this, if I am showing like this, there are two different cutting edges. One cutting edge is this, which you can see. Another cutting edge is this, and this particular radius. If I'll keep it like this, you can imagine this is the one cutting edge, another cutting edge is this, and this is the radius. This you will get from the top view of it. I'm drawing it here. If you'll draw the top view, these are the things which you are able to see from this figure. Right. These are the two angles. This is called as radius. So we have seen the entire thing, that this is the side view, this is the front view, this is the top view. We'll be discussing. Let's have a clear picture of this, which I have already drawn for you people. Let's try to understand that first, and we'll move it again. Right. So this was the side view, and in the side view, what was this angle? Just tell me, what is this angle? What is this angle? This angle was your back rack. What is this? This is end relief angle. You have seen this is the back rack angle, this is the end relief. We have again defined it. That you will be getting in the front view. This, what is the name of this angle? This angle was, yes, side relief angle. And what is this angle? This angle is it is side rack angle. If I said relief, then it's wrong. It's the rack face, is a side rack angle. We have discussed it. And this is your side relief angle. What is this? This is the end. It was the end. So it is the end cutting edge angle CE. And what is this? This is the side cutting edge angle CS. CE is end cutting edge, CS is side cutting edge. And what is this? This is the nose angle. If you will define it, this is the angle. You can see this is curve, this curve nose radius, or this curve is there. If you will find the radius of it, this is called as nose radius R. So you understood the terms. What is alpha B? Alpha B is the back rack angle. What is theta E? That is the end relief angle. What is alpha S? Side rack angle. Then what is theta S? Side relief angle. Then end cutting edge angle, side cutting edge angle, and nose radius. This is the entire thing which we have understood, and we have defined it also.